All right, I'm gonna show you guys how to consistently beat man coverage, but first I gotta take you through a quick YAP session. When it comes to determining who's gonna win a particular rep, whether that's gonna be the wide receiver or if it's gonna be the DB, I want you to think of it sort of like a math problem. So the game is going to take a look at the metrics, the wide receiver metrics versus the DB metrics. It's going to compare a couple different things. It's then going to put it into like a formula and it's going to spit out a winner. And that person is going to win the rep. So what it's going to look at, it's going to look at the catching metric for wide receivers. It's going to look at the short route run. It's going to look at medium route run, deep route run, catch in traffic, spectacular catch, release off the line of scrimmage, throw, jumping if they got to jump to catch the ball. And that's pretty much it. And then it's going to take a look at the corners, and then we're going to go to the corners and we're going to take a look at their metrics, which is going to be play recognition right here, how quickly they can diagnose the play, how good they are at man coverage versus zone coverage. If they're pressed, it's going to take a look at that. And it's going to take a look at the different metrics, and it's going to determine a number. Right now, the odds of whether or not you're going to win that metric depends on if your metrics are higher than the DB's metrics. It doesn't mean that you're going to win every rep if you're higher than them in most of those categories. What it just means is that you are more likely to win the rep. Think of it like a dice roll. Like the game is going to consider all of that, roll the dice, and it's going to spit out a winner. Now, what you need to do is know how to skew the odds in your favor so that if you are a lesser tier player, you can still win man-on-man reps. The cutter ability is like the great trump card when it comes to beating man coverage. The cutter ability gives you improved cut moves against man coverage. Now, the higher the ability, meaning like silver versus gold versus platinum, the more often that ability is going to trigger and the better that cut move is going to be. So if you find yourself in a position where you're going up against DBs that are better rated than you, what you need to do is navigate to your depth chart and go to wide receivers and identify who has the cutter ability. So I'm currently maining as TCU, and if I go through their depth chart, we got McAllister, he has silver cutter, and then Richardson has he has bronze cutter. And then what you want to do is navigate to slot wide receiver, and you want to put them in your slots. Now I've already done that, but let me auto reorder. So this is how the game comes default. I want McAllister in number 1 in the slot. Then I want Richardson number 2. So that's my silver and my bronze cutters. They are now both in the games and they're in the slot. I like them in the slot because I just feel like they have a better chance to win when they're playing inside against nickel DBs. Hey, if you want to win more games at College Football 25 or just have more fun, check out the links in the description. I also got them pinned as the top pinned comment underneath this video, but it's links out to all of my best stuff. I got the guaranteed picks blueprint. It's going to show you how to get multiple interceptions per game. Points on demand, one play touchdowns. This is probably the most impactful video if you want to win more games, like free touchdowns essentially in every game you play in, whether it's online, dynasty, head to head, it doesn't matter. You're going to get some free touchdowns. There's easy pre-snap tell. You can tell run or pass every single time before the snap on defense. Defense that works if you're struggling on defense and you need to lock down your opponent. This is going to help you get there. This video is an hour long, so it's pretty good. All of these videos are probably like 30, 40 minutes to an hour long, so they're very in-depth. And then finally, I have a members only area on YouTube. If you want to check out stuff in the moment as I lab them up, go ahead and sign up for the members area. All right, so now I have the abilities wheel pulled up, and you can see that we have our wide receivers with the cut ability. We have them in the slot. The left side has silver cut, and then the right side has bronze. And so this is the first tips when it comes to beating man coverage. You need to identify who are your cutters, who has the cut ability, and prioritize getting them the ball when you're diagnosing man coverage pre-snap. You need to make sure you're throwing it to your cutters. If you don't have cutters, if you're in Dynasty, recruit some, and if you're in online head-to-head, then I don't know what to tell you. But and so what cutting is going to do, it'll trigger under there any sharp breaking, like any sharp breaking routes, the ability will trigger. Now, if they're bronze, like the guy on the left side in the slot, his will trigger left often than the guy in the slot on the, maybe I said that backwards. The dude on the right side has bronze. The dude on the left has silver. Silver is better than bronze. That's all you need to know. And so sharp breaking routes like slants, for example, cutter ability, it didn't trigger that time for this guy because he has platinum press break. And so the game does have logic built in to where like there's ability hierarchy. And so if he's being pressed because he has platinum press break, then that's just going to trigger all the time, and that's going to break. And then that's going to just be the more dominant feature, right? Because it's higher ranked. Boom, see, he got cut, right? Under his feet, you saw the cut ability trigger. So that tells us that the cut ability is the reason why he got open. Then if we go on the right side with X, he has bronze, so I don't expect it to trigger as often. As you can see, it didn't trigger that time, and he got locked down. Again, it didn't trigger, and he's totally bagged. Dropped the ball. Unbelievable. One more time, let's see if it triggers. And no, and he's bagged. And so what I'm showing you is that when it comes to beating man, a lot of it is ability dependent. If you have cutter, your guy can get open. If you have something like press break, like homie in the slot over here, like he's going to cook man a lot of the times because he has press break and coverage. And then it just doesn't look like the dude on the right side is just he doesn't have the abilities to consistently get open. Blanket coverage is a man beating ability. It is a man-to-man defense ability. You can see here, improved cut reaction in man coverage. So think of it as like the anti-cutter ability. Blanket coverage is the anti-cutter ability. Those guys, good luck getting open on cut routes because they're not going to do that. In Texas, they have 2 on the corners. They also have knockout. The one on the left has bronze. The one on the right has gold. I mean, good luck throwing it to the corners. They are elite, right? So that's why you want to know what your abilities are and then what their abilities are. And then if we look at the safeties, we see the safety on the left side, he doesn't have any abilities, but on the right, he has gold knockout and silver ball hawk. So it's going to be hard to pass to beat man against Texas. So let's say you don't have any cutter abilities or they have the ability advantage. The next thing you want to take a look at is alignment. So if I put everyone on streaks, you can sort of see how everyone is aligned. You can see triangle in the slot. He has outside alignment. So he has an advantage on anything outbreaking, right? And so if let's say I do a out route and then I'm going to smart route it, he should win on this as long as I deliver a good ball. And you see he got open there, right? Because think of the alignment advantage as like they're racing to the boundary and your guy has a head start. And so you can take advantage of that by throwing to the boundary. And you can see cutter activated right there under his feet. You saw the cutter animation activate and he just got super open. Okay, the slot on the other side, he doesn't really have any alignment advantages, so it's just man on man there. And then of course their corners we already identified, they're super good. And I don't think my wide receiver, so the wide receiver on the right side, he also has platinum press break, so he should win anything vertical. Jesus, he didn't win that. He should have, but whatever. So he should win on vertical routes, but he has safety help over the top, so it doesn't really matter. So you can prioritize. You can also take advantage of gaps in alignment, right? Hopefully we're going to put X on a post, and hopefully he gets his cutter ability activated here. He didn't, but he got open. If I didn't take that sack. Another thing, guys, like, it's so important to understand abilities, because I got sacked, right? So say you can't get anything off. You take a look at their defensive line and you see, oh, they have a gold quick jump on the left side. I need to be double teaming him. So you then double team him, and that should help. But that's how important abilities are in the game. It's like the ultimate trump card, right? So let's try this post route again. You can see it does get open, right? And that's just because he's on a I think that's a linebacker right there. He's on a linebacker, and that linebacker probably has just like terrible man coverage rating, and so you're exploiting a mismatch right there. You can just tell it's a linebacker just because he has like a bigger stature. And so that brings me to my next point, right? So you want to take advantage of abilities, you want to take advantage of alignments, and then you want to take advantage of mismatches, like running back on linebacker or wide receiver on linebacker. To improve alignment advantages, what you can do is motion your slots. So if you motion him over like this, so this caused the man assignments to change, right? So right now he's on that linebacker, but now they switch. Now the running back is on the linebacker, and now the slot is on, I'll just streak him so you can see he's on him right there. So sometimes you can do that to try to get a better advantage. Like, let's say I motion him over, he follows, so they didn't change assignments, and it's inconsistent. It doesn't always happen the way you hope it does or the way that you want it to, but just know that this is a way that you can change who has who, right? Another thing that you can do to help beat man is to motion the running back, see what that does, how that changes things. So I motioned him over. That actually gave X outside leverage even more so, because it caused that other guy to take a step inside. So now we can do this, and that's a catch. That is a caught pass if the safety doesn't have knockout ability, and we saw the knockout ability trigger when he made the tackle, so that's why that wasn't caught. So we talked about the slots so far. Let's talk about the corners. It's going to be harder to throw at corners, especially these two corners for Texas, because of the abilities that they have. I mean, their corners are absolutely elite. So here's what I like to do with corners. This is in the members only area, but I'm just giving it out here as appreciation for watching the video this far. If you like this tip and you want more tips like this, check out the members only area. But if you put the wide receiver that's on the corner, put him on a triple option, and then you smart route the triple option, it creates a fade route that's better than the stock fade. And this fade is going to run to the back pylon, and it literally always gets open. I'm not going to be able to complete this pass against cover 2. I just want to show you guys that it does get open. But look, it's open. Boom. The only reason why it's not a completed pass, like I just said, is one, he has not the corner has knockout, and he has safety help over the top. And so you can see it's open, and when you highball it, it prevents the corner from being able to jump and animate. So that would be a completion, except for, he has safety help over the top. So you're like, okay, so then what's the point? When is it useful? Opponents online especially, they love to zero blitz and press. And anytime anyone does that against me, I know I have a free touchdown. I've been seeing a lot of cover one recently. And so if you're going up against cover one, if you do the triple option and then you smart route it against cover one, this is what happens. Boom. It's not the same route. Now it's a curl. Against cover one, the smart routed triple option is a curl. And it does a good job of getting open. You know, that guy has an ability, so good luck on that. Let's try it again. It does a pretty good job of getting open, but it's better when they're pressed. Like if I can find a cover one hole where it's a pressed cover one. All right, here we go. It's pressed this time. Let's smart route it. And let's see if he cooks him. He gets underneath. Boom, you throw it. Look at that. Boom. See all that separation? It creates like a flyby animation. And even though that DB has an ability, damn, I took a sack. Even though that DB has an ability, it still just creates that flyby animation. Look at that. And then you can turn it around and then potentially get a touchdown if you get the right animation, just like that. So again, you can even call it against cover one, and even though he's underneath, just throw the ball because he flies by the entire way through. If you can make a miss, you have a touchdown. All right, so that's enough for this video. Hopefully you guys got something out of this. It may not have been what you're looking for, right? Because there's really not a whole lot you can do against man because it is man. Like the person with the better player is going to win most reps. But by taking advantage of things like abilities and alignment, mismatches, and then just knowing like weird animation things that you can take advantage of, like the triple option thing that I've shown you guys, then hopefully that just helps you. Hopefully that helps you move the ball downfield. So hopefully you guys had a lot of fun watching this video because I had a lot of fun making it. I'll see you guys in the next one.